Hi, you guys. Okay, Snowfall Season 5, Episode 1, Comics. Okay, the episode opens with the story of Len Bias. He was a college basketball player who, 2 days prior to his death, he was the second pick in the draft to the Boston Celtics. Being in the top 3 of the draft pick, on the road of becoming a millionaire and a $3 million deal with Reebok, became a bit overwhelming for Bias. The very next day that he got his deal, flew back to Maryland. That's where he was a student at the University of Maryland. And he hooked up with a childhood friend, 2 of his teammates, and they partied like no other. They also consumed cocaine that was too pure. Now, remember when the Colombian brothers took Teddy's brother and they made him sniff the cocaine that was too pure, causing him to have complications later on. And last season, he died of a heart attack. I was a little girl when this happened, too young to actually remember. But what I can remember is that for years, people wouldn't stop talking about it. And I'm from Baltimore, so maybe it's because it was happened in at the University of Maryland that was so near and dear to Baltimoreans. And they were rooting for him. I guess that's why, but yeah, I can remember this. Bias tragedy launched the government to really crack down on what they brought over to us. So now all these campaigns are being launched. It wasn't only his story, it was other things as well, mainly when other white Americans were overdosing and things like that. They're like, Houston, we have a problem. And you would say that this launched the start of the crackdown on drugs in America. So this season, I guess we're going to see how this will directly affect Franklin. Baby, Franklin is flying high in the sky. He now has his pilot license, his own plane. Gets off the plane. Ronnie and Trix is waiting for him. That's what I call them. I don't like that they're still working for him. They're not to be trusted, I don't think. Well, Franklin, he trusts them, and they are still working for him as his bodyguards. They tell him that Veronique says the call when he lands, and I'm like, Veronique? Y'all know I'm gonna mess that up. I never heard of a Veronique. It's either Veronica or Monique. Franklin calls over to his real estate company. Yes, a nice one like his mama wanted. Here is where we're introduced to Veronique, and she runs his company, and very well, I might add. I'd like to know how long has this been since season in this season? Was it a year or 2 or 6 months? Because Veronique is very comfortable, and I don't know if she's to be trusted either. Anyhow, the two have a small talk, and Franklin tells her that he's going to see Grady and that he'll be to her. Grady is Reed replacement, and Grady is very different from Reed. He's having a party, a house full of people. Woman there went right up to Franklin and asked him, did he bring the coat? Excuse me, miss, he does not sell coke. He's in real estate. Franklin is ready to get down to business. It's always business with him, Grady says. Franklin is there. He wants to increase his buy to 300 keys a week at a discounted rate of shave $1,000 off per key. Franklin explains that with the southern borders opening up, that it's a lot of competition, and his customers are willing to go elsewhere. Grady asks Franklin, I thought your customers was family. And Franklin tells him, and nothing breaks a family up like money. That's the truth. Grady thing is he can't bring the company back any shorts, because then it's going to be a problem for the both of them. Grady tells Franklin that he'll see what he can do, or no. At this point, Gustavo comes in, so Gustavo is still working. Grady asks where was Samaria, and I think that's the aunt that had the kids. So I guess they linked up now. He asks, why didn't he bring her? And Gustavo said, if I would have brought her, we would have been here all night. Grady tells him, like, you two drug dealers are no fun. Sir, this is about business. Grady seems like he's a clown, a whole clown. Louie and Jerome are doing their thing. They out riding horses. Jerome and his Versace out there buying horses and stuff for Louie. It looked like they're enjoying each other. on their terms. Just like Kodak Black, Leon is going to be in the projects, baby. It looks like he has his community back, his boys. They having a problem down there. One of their workers, he's stealing money, buying Jordans and shit. So he was telling Leon that they work the hardest but get paid the least. And Leon said, you know that's the rule. The person that makes work the hardest always get paid the least. You got to work your way up. So he tells him to take off the shoes. And the dude is like, dang, thank you, Leon. I swear this won't happen again. Baby, Leon took that pipe and crushed that man's foot all up. Woo, child, the ghetto. And Rob, poor Rob. Rob is cracked out. Crack cocaine out. He's out there at a party up with his peoples, his friends. And they're having themselves a party. Everybody's doing lines of coke. His goofy friend Thad. I mean, what type of name is that? Thaddeus? Okay. Is that short for Thaddeus? Okay, Thad is over there. He has the lines of coke going and he's hitting the crack pipe. So at this point, I'm like, okay, some fuck shit is about to go down. So a dude comes over. He takes a line of coke. So Thad is like, did you ask my friend, can you have some of that? So the guy said, no, we're at a party. It's my friend party. I don't know you guys, but let's just chalk it up as we're good. Thad has pulled out a gun. And everybody is like, what? This is too much. What's going on? On this side of town, this don't happen. Rob gets Thad to calm down. But he doesn't take the gun away from him. And that's maybe because he's under the influence of the crack rocks as well. But everything calms down. Everyone gets back to partying. And Thad sits down and then he jumps up and put 2 bullets inside of the young man's chest, killing him. Franklin has a nice apartment and it's overlooking the city. Nice view. Snowfall always had a great way of telling us the events that was going on. Farmers was going through a crisis. Bankruptcies and foreclosures was up. America also has an export deficit going on at the moment. And through all of this, Franklin is thriving. Also see that the news of Len Bias is going around. We seen Leon was looking at it on the news, and Franklin is reading it from the morning paper. Franklin also learned on the news that Thad Brenner is a suspect in a murder. Franklin goes down to the office with Veronique. Tells Franklin that it will look better if they don't go and get a loan, don't take that route to getting a loan. So Franklin has to talk this over with Louis and Jerome, and maybe Leon wants a piece of the investment as well. Franklin asks Veronique, are you enjoying this, everything that I promised? And Veronique was like, yes, but it's also everything that I work for. Says to Franklin, you have came through with everything that you said you would. And a man that's worth his word is worth me. For some reason, I feel like this is going to be a problem because in her own right, she may have worked hard at Franklin's business. Franklin may have not known how to maneuver a business in real estate, especially with not Sissy being right there to show him or do it for him. But he did have real estate before she came along. And I just think this is going to it's going to be a conflict of interest, so to speak, in their relationship. Grady ass look like he has a hangover of a sort. He goes out back, about to sit down. The back is trash from the party the prior day. And he gets a visit from the gas and electric man, who is motherfucking Reed. So Reed is all at the meters. And Grady gets suspicious. He's like, they have you working on a Sunday? And Rita's like, yeah, if you got a complaint, please take that up with them. But Grady doesn't do much. All he do is he looks at Reed badge, which read Justin Cowway or something like that. Reed want his job back. Also, Grady is fucking Dallas, a.k.a. Ronnie. Grady don't know who he fucking with. Reed done caught him slipping and he done fucked up. Peaches is taking Franklin over to see Rob, and he's complaining of a summer cold. But for some reason, I think that Peaches is going to have the AIDS virus. I said Snowfall always been great with portraying the events that was going on, and we can't have the crack era without the AIDS HIV era. Franklin makes it over to Rob's, and it's just sad crackhead shit. It's like if you would see crackheads um in the valley, so to speak. So is the windows are covered with sheets and shit. This real crackhead shit. Rob is going down bad. He has the same two girls that was at the party the night prior that was with him when the young man was killed. Some other dude up in there, they're doing lines of coke, crack rocks as well, probably. Franklin and Peaches walk in. I was like, that the savior done walked in, like Mr. Fix-It-All done walked in. And my concern is that these two girls, they done been there from the beginning. So whatever is going to carry out long down the line, they're collecting information. Rob is telling them about the crazy night. He don't know where Thad ran off to, just in case the cops came and questioned him. He truly wouldn't know. But Franklin is like, how about you send your friends home now? Franklin brings Rob down to his family home where Sissy used to stay. And he tells Rob that he's going to stay there. Franklin wants to track down Thad, and he asks Rob how much does Thad actually know, because they can't risk Thad running his mouth, letting important information get out. Rob tells Franklin he doesn't know anything, and I won't let him hurt you or anyone else. Franklin wants to believe in Rob, but he's so far gone, like he explained when he had the meeting with Leon, Louie, and Jerome. Louie, she's like, oh shit, this shit is just getting better and better. And Jerome is like, nephew, we can't have no smokers without naming their mouth. Franklin's plan is to take care of Thad, send Rob off to rehab. Louie tells Franklin if Rob goes away, then that's a cut on clientele, which then Grady is less likely to cut the price. And Louie needs this price cut because her clients is threatening to go to the Colombians. Franklin says to them, look, let me straighten this shit out with Thad, and then we'll talk about the price cut. Wanda is clean and she is looking good. She's working as a phone sex operator. Wanda is not all that good at it. She's losing her customers because she said that they're asking her to do some weird shit. Her boss is on her ass talking about you gotta hold the cream to make the green. Boy, sit down. Wanda comes home from a hard day of bullshit, and she walks in and she sees Rob. So she's staying at Franklin's old family home. Wanda's like, what the fuck is going on around here? Peaches tells her, look, I'm gonna need you, because he is sick on the couch. He tells her, look, I'm gonna need you to stay in here and watch him. And she's like, what the fuck that mean, watch him? And Peaches said, whatever you got to do to make sure he don't leave here. And he tells her, like, that fool used to be you. He goes into Rob, who's ill, and he's going through the motions of withdrawals. And here we find out that she said that no one wants to rent to an ex-junkie. So Franklin helped her out. She's been staying there for 6 months. Tells Rob that I know what you're feeling right now. You're going through hell, but hang on, and once you get over this, you can live. I thought that was sweet of her to sympathize with Rob. Hey, y'all know that Louie always keep her cop up under her wing to feed her information. So she's dealing with this cop, Blue, the same motherfucker who wrongly raided that lady house and locked up her children for a bag of weed. And he is just a sauced up. He is sniffing coke, and he tells Louie that guy Volpe that Louie asked him to look into to see if it was under the narcs radar, he isn't. He goes on to tell Louie about his bust today and how the CI gave him a wrong lead or whatever. That it was just somebody there with her, just staying there with children, where he thought it was a big bus, a crack house, and the pressure of his boss being on his back about raiding houses and making arrests ever since the Len Bias story got down, his boss has been on his back about that, and he needs a big fish. So Lloyd is like, I'm no snitch. He's like, look, this is not about snitching. If you want me to continue to work with you, you're going to have to help me to help you. I can see him being a problem down the line. It's the next morning, and Rob has survived the night, but he is itching for a fix. So he creeps downstairs, and he would think he's out the door. And Franklin is right at the table stopping him like, where you going? Tells Franklin that he got in touch with Thad. Thad is staying in a family friend's home that's not being occupied at the moment. Rob said he just want to get him a fix and he'll go take care of it. And Franklin is like, no, I'm not leaving that in your hand for you to go get high and then you fuck that shit up. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get Peaches to get you some Coke. Then you and I, along with Peaches, is going to ride down and pick up Thad. Then when we come back, I'm going to fly you to a fancy rehab and you're going to get yourself together. So Rob said with sarcasm, yeah, that'll be nice. And Franklin slaps the shit out of him and said, that's what's going to happen and that's what you're going to do. They all get in a car and ride up to go pick up Thad. And Rob is now mellowed out. He had his hit and he's telling jokes. He's on a vibe. But Peaches and Franklin, they're kind of like chill because they're not high. So they're like flatlined, just chilling and riding. And this makes Rob paranoid. So Rob is asking, can he get his gun? He want to, get the feel of it. So Franklin said, fuck it. He pulled over. Peaches got him the gun. Rob feels better now. He's constantly taking bumps of Coke. Franklin and Peaches is looking at Rob in disgrace like, what the fuck done happened to you? They get up to Thad, and Thad he is swinging some fireballs. He don't know what to do with himself. Him too is on one. Peaches, he got his gun out, and this makes Thad nervous. He pulls out a shotgun. So Franklin gets Thad to calm down, to put the gun. He gets Peaches to put the gun away. Thad put the gun down. And he's like, damn, I'm glad y'all came. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was losing my mind up here. He says to them, I was hoping that your CIA connect can fix all of this. So Franklin looks at Rob like, okay, what are you going to do? Because you told me that his ass didn't know anything. Rob, he knew what time it was, and he shoots Thad in the shoulder. But it doesn't hit him, so Peach is like, finish him off. Rob can't do it. He passing the gun to Franklin, and Franklin is like, no, you have to fix this. Rob goes on over, and he finishes Thad off. They take Thad up to the desert to bury him. And Rob is losing it. He pulls out the crack pipe. He was like, gotta make it count. And at this moment, Franklin is reminiscing on a conversation that he had with Veronique. Here we learn that Veronique is a law school graduate, and she's also pregnant with Franklin's baby. Also, she may have a dark past with her mother. She tells Franklin that she will not support a lifestyle that does not support this baby in every way. Franklin tells her, look, 90% of what I do is in real estate with you right now. And that him working with Grady in real estate, Grady wouldn't want anything to happen to them. And Veronique is like, that's cool and everything. But until Grady is basically out of it, you or I would have full control over that, and I accept that. But she tells Franklin that he needs to promise her that he'll do everything to keep their family intact until he can go legit 100%. And at this point, Franklin makes the decision to kill Rob. And I felt like that was fucked up. I mean, give Rob a chance. And don't get me wrong, Rob did. He had loose lips running his mouth about the CIA and everything to a person that didn't need to know that information. But Rob is also dealing with a monkey on his back. And when you're dealing with that crack rocks and you're gone off that, you'll do anything. And And lastly, we have Franklin and his girl Veronique, and bring her to a spot that he wants to build a compound on and build their legacy at. He says to her, first I need to know if I have your loyalty. He said, I had a lot of backstabbers in my life, but now they are no more. Veronique tells him, what you had before me predates me, but what you have now is yours. Do y'all believe her? How did you guys like this episode? What was your favorite part? What will Reed be up to? Do you guys trust Veronique? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.